All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to another morning open. It's a Monday morning, and let's just say things are a little rough, okay? Let's just say things are a little rough. We had a rough week last week. It was one of the worst weeks ever. This start to 2022 has been one of the worst weeks ever. But, you know, we're getting through it. All right, everybody. We're getting through it. It is a red market. Richard, hello. I see you in the chat. It is a red market. But nonetheless, we're going to figure out what to do with this. Futures were green last night. They're not green anymore. You know, it's so weird. You think you have these colors, and these colors just, like, go away. And it's like, well, you're not supposed to do that, but these colors don't care. Stocks are down pretty bad. Tesla is down to 862 pre-market, down another percent. Apple is down 16%. Let's go to Palantir real quick. I know it was at 1030. Yeah, it's at 1036 basically pre-market. It's not looking nice pre-market. Amazon was the biggest drop last night. So let's go to Amazon real quick because we didn't get a real chance to talk about that one. 2400 pre-market. You know, so like let's look at the 1 month on that. Yeah, so this was Amazon. I mean, this was the earnings, right? So it was at 3,300 for a long time, like in April 3,300 easy, and then it started swiveling as the market started coming down, and then this was the earnings drop, 2,900 down to 2,400, $500 down because because their earnings were not. They took a $7 billion loss on their Rivian stake, so that's losing a lot of money. That's not the best. And then obviously more other stuff happened. I see everyone in the chat. Chris, what's up? Buying opportunities? Absolutely. Jez, I hope it gets trashed so I can buy. Lawrence, boring market. Are you buying Planet 13? Not buying Planet 13. I love red markets because I'm cheap. So that's the other thing I wanted to discuss. Look, it seems like this is a chance to buy. Okay, so we had your boy. You guys know who this guy is. You guys probably know who this guy is. He responded to one of my tweets this weekend, which shout out to him because it got a lot more people interested in the tweet itself once a big name responds to your tweet. But my tweet was that, look, is the market going to go worse or is it going to get right here? Does the market get worse or is it a bottom? And he said, all I heard is buy, and I agree, which is pretty much what all of you guys are saying in the chat, that this is the opportunity to buy. Because this is kind of peak fear. And to be honest, I agree with Kevin and I agree with all of you in the chat. As bad look at this shit. As bad as this is, it does, like, do we really think Palantir is going to be at 10? SoFi is going to be at 6? These are phenomenal companies. Google, like, it's just, these are the moments where you look back and you know, you're like, damn, if I had just loaded up, like the whole market, like the nature of the market being afraid is that the algorithmic necessity for institutions and hedge funds to trim their positions is absolute, meaning they must do it, which means the prices must go down if things are like perceived as bad. But that does not reflect any longevity or true nature of the company. It only reflects macro trends, which means if you got the capital to buy the companies you genuinely believe in that you're not going to lose your conviction on, like, it seems like it's an opportunity. It seems like it's an opportunity. Owen says, tired of saying buying opportunity every day. Well, it's a buying opportunity. Stock market is the only place where people see a disc. Yeah, I mean, there's a good quote I saw on Bitcoin, which let's go to that. People were scrambling to buy Bitcoin at 69,000, like scrambling. Like people loved getting them their Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin's at 38,000, half off, 50% deal. You know, no one cares. Or people don't want to touch it. And it just goes to show you how much euphoria exists in the market when things are hot and when things fall away. People don't care anymore. People don't care anymore. And so it's just interesting to kind of think of that. Nasdaq 200 day moving average is 10,660. Toby, what's up in the chat? Let me go to the Nasdaq. Let's go to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's at 12. So let's look at the Nasdaq this year before the market opens. Let's actually look at the Nasdaq. Let's look. So we're going to let's go to year to date. Okay. So here was the Nasdaq June. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let's do, yeah, there we go. 16,000 was the Nasdaq November 22nd, 2021. And it was, in 2020, November, 10,000. 16,000 2021. Look where we are. Getting pretty close back to 10,000 a year or two, almost a year and a half later. So, I mean, this was the low back then in 2020. Well, really so we got to, wow. Look at this. In COVID, if you bought the Nasdaq at 6,000, I mean, what a chart. Now, obviously, you can say, well, if you bought Bitcoin when it was 3,000, yeah, I get it. But like the Nasdaq is it indicates the health of the economy. So Bitcoin's a little bit more speculative. The Nasdaq is buying the economy. March 20th, 2020, you're buying the economy. Boom. And then you sold right, if you sold right there. Now we're at the Nasdaq down to 12,000. If the Nasdaq gets down to 10,000, we're reaching levels that we haven't seen since November 2020. So, I mean, that it'll be a bit rough if that ends up happening. Amit, will you share your Palantir position details? I've already shared it. I have 2,176 shares at an average cost of $19.66. That is my Palantir position. Palantir have a lot of calls speculating in earnings pop. We have to talk about earnings. I'm not sure how earnings are going to go. So me and Chris Patel will be live streaming earnings with Tom Nash on his channel. So it'll be a fun time. But so definitely make sure you guys tune in. It'll be awesome. But the problem is, man, the SPAC losses are going to screw us. Like we're the EPS. We're going to miss on earnings per share because the SPACs are down. Like look at BBLN. Look at one of our stocks. Look at one of our SPACs. This is Babylon Holdings. Look at this. It's $1.48. Look at the max. It was at $16 in October 2021, right? Like, it's down pretty bad. I think we got our shares at $7, $8. DCFC, I think we're doing better. $9, that's better. Wejo is screwed. Adherent, I actually think is doing better. I want to do more videos on Adherent because I don't think people know too much about that SPAC, but we're at $8.65 there. So the SPAC losses are going to suck. The question is, we're going to beat on revenue, but like, are we going to really beat on revenue? Because if we can really beat on revenue, like they're not going to be able to ignore us. Even if we have a Tesla-like quarter, we'll still go back down to probably $8 or $9, $10. I think that might happen unless the macro gets good by May 9th, and I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. But look at what happened to Tesla. Phenomenal quarter, grew 81% year over year, right back down. And that's not because the Elon shares. That happened before the Elon share news even came out. So to me, it's like we could have a great quarter. We'll still go down. I don't care if we go down because if we have a phenomenal quarter, I'm like, I think I load up more because I'm like, well, we're having a phenomenal quarter. The market just like screw the market. They just don't get it right now. So to me, it's just a question of if we can get the quarter to be amazing. That average is so high compared to now. Yeah, it sucks, man. A $19 average. Guys, you got to remember, I was buying Palantir at 25, like it was going to 30 tomorrow. In November 2021, at least it wasn't February peak FOMO or euphoria, but November 2021, October 2021, it was pretty bad. And when they dropped on earnings to 22, I remember I purchased $4,000 worth of shares at 22 because I was like, oh, it's a huge dip. Little did I know. Little did I know. You live and you learn. It happens. You got to play with money that you can afford to lose. And that's why I haven't put more money into the market. I've been very clear about this. I have 64 grand in the market. I sold all my ARK last week. I put another 1,200 into Palantir, and that's it. I'm being very disciplined. People may say, hey, you should buy the dip. I want to buy the dip, but I also have to be financially responsible, and I can't put more money into the market. And it sucks, but it's like, that's what it is. So, the Palantir position is what it is, and hopefully I can, put more money a little bit later over the summer and average down. But at 19, I think it's obviously worth 150. So 19 versus 15, it's not the worst in the world. But would I like to get it down lower? Yes. It's just I would have to spend a lot more money to get it down even lower. Long term, you won't even remember. Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. The macro is killing good earnings. Yep. Are any of the SPACs doing well? So we just talked about the SPACs are not doing that well. DCFC, Tritium, I think is doing pretty decent though. All right. The SPACs are doing well in news, by the way, but their stocks aren't doing that well. We have 30 seconds before the market opens. I want to give a clear warning. You guys see what this is. You guys know what's coming. Do not be surprised when your eardrums break. The reason I break your eardrums is because you all want the pain of me breaking your eardrums. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. You got to remember that. You got to remember that. It's like a girl who says, like, don't talk to me, and then she texts you first. You get that first text, you're like, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. All right, it's time. The market is open. Wake your ass up on this Monday morning. Here we go. We've got green at the top. Oh, that green turned to red. Did you guys see that? All that green for like a second turned to red. And we got a lot of red at the bottom. Okay, it's bad. It's definitely bad. Not the best. I wouldn't say the best. Let's go to Palantir. Okay, Palantir's 1030. 1030 is pretty. I mean, we expected that. That's what it was going to be. So Palantir's at 1030. That's nothing too insane. What else do we got? Let's go to Tesla. Tesla. Where's Tesla? Whoa, baby. Tesla's down 1%, 864. For the Tesla OGs, I mean, I think people would be loading up on Tesla if you're a Tesla fan. Tesla OGs, 38,000 on the Bitcoin. Nasdaq is a little bit green, very little, 0.08%, 12,340. Interesting to see okay, let's go to SPY. I want to see in the next, 30 minutes, how does the market deal with this situation? We're at 412 on the SPY. So far, it's pretty flat. I mean, nothing's crazy down. Like, Palantir's in 1020s already. That's, like, understandable. Enphase, I did a podcast, with Freelance Finance channel. They educated me about Enphase. Enphase it looks like it's going to be insanely big. Like, when you talk about 0 to 1, no competition, I mean, this Enphase looks like they're that company. But we can talk more about that. That's interesting. Okay, Tattooed Chef. We know this because of Jeremy. We all know this because of him. It's getting destroyed. It's getting pretty rough. Some of those growth stocks are getting hit really bad. So that's there. It got below 10. Spotify's doing decent well. 101.99. 102 hanging in there. Netflix is staying below 200. There it is. It's below 200. It's deciding not to come back above 200. Chris says he's getting his kidney ready. I would advise to also get my kidney. I mean, I think everyone should get their kidney. If Palantir gets below 10 or 8, 7. Well, and not just Palantir, right? But these are like, let's go to Google. Where's Goog at? Is Goog going to below 2,000? It's got 282 points to go below 2K. And then I might violate my own rule of not putting money in the market and get at least 2 shares of Goog. Like, Goog below 2K is rough. Like, it's just, I mean, it's a deal to me. Look at that drop. Look at this. Look at Goog. Just like, this is the full year chart, by the way. Or full max chart. Look at that mean drop. Like, that's just a big old drop. 3,000. I mean, eventually that drop will look like this drop probably. But like, this is 3,000 to 2,200 is $800. That's 800 points that it drops. That's a lot. This market is not even real to me. I may make my own market. Palantir Long says $17.10 is his average. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope you had a great weekend, Palantir Long. Hope you're doing well. $17.10, not the worst average. I mean, I know people who have $15 averages, not that crazy. T-Doc, what we're doing for T-Doc, 33. Down 1 more %. We talked about this on Money Talks today. Is ARK finally a buy? Is ARK finally a buy? And by the way, let me just tweet out that I'm live real quick. Let's do this real quick. Live market open. Okay. So T-Doc is T-Doc a buy? $46.83. All right, T-Doc, ARK. Justin said maybe. Well, no, Justin and Tom both agreed no. But Tom was more emphatic about it being no. Look, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I also am just like, I don't want to buy this thing. I don't know why this thing is that used. I don't know why I would put money in ARK. I don't know. I'd rather buy, if I'm into Roku, I'd rather buy Roku, I'd like, or whatever. But I don't want to bet on that section of growth anymore because it doesn't seem like it's that innovative. Roku is going to go below 90 most likely. Roku had a pretty good quarter from what I understand in their earnings, but it wasn't enough to move the stock. Now, let me look up Roku earnings real quick. Let me try to get some Roku earnings. So they beat revenue by 2%. Where's the earnings? Okay, here we go. No, but let's look at the Investopedia. The Investopedia is actually becoming a good way to get like results quickly. Okay, so they had $733 million of revenue. Analysts projected 720. They missed on they beat on EPS. Look at this. They missed on active accounts. Kathy Wood is $1 billion of a company that cannot grow their active accounts. I'm not saying it's easy to grow your active accounts. I'm just saying, why would you bet on this platform? Roku's user base is gauged with the number of accounts as a key measure of the company's ability to generate advertising revenue. All right, look, I don't want to harp on them, but again, that's why I'm not buying ARK, because 61 million active. Netflix has 220 million subscribers. Now, Roku will be like, well, we're not a streaming service, we're a platform. Okay, but like, I mean, are you really going to be able to sell all those ads through that platform, which is the things they're betting on? I don't know. ARK is not a buy. Victor says, Chris says Warren Buffett. Oh, we got to talk about, thank you, Chris, for saying Warren Buffett. We got to talk about Buffett. We got to talk about him this weekend. Warren Buffett is buying the dip after being a net seller for the next 2 years. In Q1, he deployed over 34% of Berkshire's cash and bought $51 billion in stocks. Amain says, sup, Amit. What's up, Amain? Happy you're here in the chat. That's a really big thing. So Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger just had their annual shareholders meeting. And basically, they gave a lot of juicy details of what they've been doing and what Chris said in the chat, which is that they've been selling for the past 2 years because obviously the market was in euphoria. So an OG like Warren Buffett is going to start selling, but now they're buying. Now they're buying a lot, and that means that because they're buying a lot, it is time to potentially load up in the market. If Warren Buffett is buying, right? It's like, sometimes you can follow some people. It's like, okay, people are buying. So Buffett had some interesting quotes. Now, one of the things he's doing it on Activision. Let me look up that stock real quick. Activision, ATVI. Okay, so Microsoft is acquiring Activision for, I believe, $90-something. Microsoft Activision deal. Activision is a gaming company. Microsoft is acquiring them. Microsoft at $95 an offer, right? It's a 24% premium over their current share price, 24.25 at 77. Warren Buffett has put in 9.5%, which is some multiple billions of dollars into Activision at this price because he sees it as a guaranteed 20% return because he thinks the deal is going through. Now, the market doesn't think the deal is going through because if the market thought the deal was going through, Activision would be at 95 immediately, 93, 94, and it would hover around there. It's the same thing with Twitter, right? Twitter is not at 54.20 because the market still is not sure the deal is going through. So Warren Buffett loaded up the maximum amount that he could in Activision Blizzard because he believes the deal is absolutely going through. So that's another interesting thing to think about just in the context of mergers and acquisitions and what's going on right now and how he's deploying his capital in general. Now, Jack puts in the chat his quote. His quote was a big quote, and I'm going to probably do a full video on this, but essentially, Warren Buffett said at the shareholders meeting, he would not... Basically, the quote was like, if you gave him all the Bitcoin in the world for $25, he wouldn't buy it. And the context of the quote, the analogy he was saying, was that, look, if you gave me all the farmland in America for $25 billion, I would buy it tomorrow. If you gave me all the apartments in America for $25 billion, I would buy it tomorrow. Because he sees the value out of the farm and the apartment land. But he doesn't see the value to Bitcoin. So he's like, if you gave me all the Bitcoin, I would just sell it tomorrow. So the only value I get from it intrinsically is the fact that I can sell it, which means it's not even worth $25 to me. Now, obviously, it's a little bit of a radical statement because, like, if you're going to give someone all the Bitcoin in the world that's valued at $40,000 a pop for $25, you're talking about almost $1 trillion off of 25. It's a pretty good deal to pay $25 for something and get $1 trillion. But nonetheless, the point he's trying to make is that he does not see the value philosophically or technically in this type of a product or in this type of a commodity, whatever you call Bitcoin, which is why he's not buying it. And it got a lot of people upset. Someone said the picture next to the garbage can is very funny. You guys are talking about my thumbnail. All right, by the way, I think it's time to ask you guys, how do you think about, how do you guys feel? I talked about this in the video I'm doing today, but the latest knickknacks we got. Do you guys see these? So we got MJ, and we got this thing right here. So let me show you guys real quick. I was thinking of which ones to do. I got a lot of good suggestions in the chat. Still looking for more, but Michael Jackson, I had to, man. When he died in 2009, it changed my entire life. One of my favorite albums. I was like, let's put MJ in the back. He's one of my inspirations. Let's put him there. And then this is an OG. If you know this, you grew up with me. If you know what this is Guitar Hero for DS. You could literally plug it into your DS. It was the most innovative thing in the world at the time when it came out. I begged my dad to buy me this. It was $53. I remember going to the GameStop or the Walmart or whatever and buying it. And this was an OG. So I was like, I always wanted to be a rock star. YouTube is kind of my way to be a little rock star in my own extent. And then Michael Jackson's there, so we put them as the things. So that's that. We put MJ there. Hope you guys kind of like those knickknacks. Need some color in the background. Color is coming. I'm ordering something for color. Color is coming very soon. Bitcoin is there more than two. Interesting. There's more than that. Need that cactus, bro. Yeah, I gotta get that cactus too. That was probably one of the best suggestions, Crossroads, that I saw. All right, so that's what we got there. Twitter, $49. Activision still 77. Roku 95. ARK 47. Let's look at the map in general. Everything's still pretty red. Nothing's too crazy. Now, I also wanted to talk about Robinhood. Charlie Munger, you got to put up a hookah. Nice pajamas, thank you. I forgot I was wearing pajamas, you guys. Pajama bottoms and a button up. Someone is a YouTuber. We got to talk about this little clip that I really wanted to show you guys, which was Charlie Munger's response to Robinhood and then Robinhood's response to Charlie Munger. So let me go to the history real quick. And let's play this clip. It was a 3-minute clip. It was a really interesting one. Nice pajamas, thank you. I forgot I was wearing pajamas, you guys. Pajama bottoms and a button up. Someone is a YouTuber. Hold on, let me put the sound up. We got to talk about this little clip that I really wanted to show you guys, which was Charlie Munger's response to Robinhood and then Robinhood's response to Charlie. Okay, here we go.
Charlie Munger had some harsh words for Robinhood at the Berkshire meeting, and now Robinhood is responding. First up, here's what Munger and Buffett said.
Look what happened to Robinhood from its peak to its trough. Wasn't that pretty obvious that something like that was going to happen?
Tell me again what it should have.
Robinhood, when it came out and went public, and it got alerted everybody to all the short-term gambling and big commissions and hidden kickbacks and so on and so on. It was disgusting.
Yeah. And it says the last year, and they got mad at you, and they sold a bunch of their stock, and they got the money, and...
Yeah, but now it's unraveling. God is getting just.
But a lot of the insiders have but they've gotten a lot of money from it. I mean, they were big sellers, as I remember.
That may be, but
yeah,
there's been some justice.
Well, I have to agree with that.
Well, Robinhood responding, sending CNBC this statement. It is tiresome witnessing Mr. Munger mischaracterize a platform and customer base he knows nothing about. No, Robinhood doesn't charge commissions and does not allow day trading or short selling. We never did. He should just say what he really means. Unless you look, think, and act like him, you cannot and should not be an investor. We're happy to share our educational tools, as it also seems he has lost on digital currencies. Not sure about how wise it is for Robinhood to be even responding to this, extending the story, having more to talk about with it, but I guess they were kind of scrappy, and maybe given how they're down, maybe they want some of the attention on this. But look, this is something Munger's been clear about for a long time. And again, they talked about how it's like a casino out there, that how there's people who are very willing to sell shares on an instance notice, that you don't have long-term investors like we used to have, at least that has gotten a little out of control.
The weird quote was they say we don't allow day trading or short selling on the platform, and that's what they're going to talk about in a second. That part I didn't get at all.
They say it's always been a pendulum swing, and clearly they think it's gone too far in one direction. Charlie's made comments in the past about how he doesn't like the video gameization of trading to make people, these algorithms that make them feel excited, like when Robinhood was doing the yay, fireworks when you made a trade type of stuff. He's not a big fan of stuff like that.
Hold on, they're saying that they don't have day trading going on Robinhood? What?
Right.
What?
What they don't? Didn't they say they don't allow day trade?
Did I just miss the statement? What happened here?
I don't know. We don't allow day trading or short selling. I don't know.
We don't allow day trade? I don't even know.
Short selling?
Well, short selling they don't technically allow, but there's ways to sort of do it through options and other things that they...
Yeah, see, that part I didn't get. That part I was so confused about. So, like, now we go to Robinhood stock. Like, I mean, they wanted to respond, obviously, to what, was said. But it was also just, like, the response was kind of bad. Because, like, you can definitely short stuff and, I mean, like, with put options. I mean, you can definitely... day trade on Robinhood. You just need $25,000 in your bank. That's it. They just need you to have 25K. Like that's, if you have less than 25K, I know this because I used to not day trade, but I would make more trades inside of the day. And they would just say, hey, if you get 25K, you can do this. And they give you a certain amount of trades you can do for the day before they even give you the warning. So yeah, that's not a good answer. Now I understand Munger's and Charlie's perspective there in terms of dunking on Robinhood, because they said that was going to happen. Like, they really did say it was going to happen. Now, granted, are they right on everything? Or they understand technology, internet? Would they invest in something like Palantir? Probably never. But a company like Robinhood, you could understand where they were coming from in terms of what they were trying to do. Okay, you guys are saying everything's looking green. Things are looking green. Let's go to the heat list, the watch list. Yeah, a lot more green. That's nice. A lot more green is coming in. Now the question is, why is it coming green? And I think honestly the answer is because where else is it gonna go? Like, that's why when it was red in the morning, I was just like, why is it red? like it was so down. I'm just like, come on now. SPY is still red. Tesla's again, it's getting up there a little bit. I mean, it's still overall down. What else do we got? Costco 529. Costco's at 600. When was Costco? Hold on. Costco was at 612. Is that correct? It was at 612. Hold on. Let me do the 3 months. That's better. Yeah, look at this. It was at 612 on April 7th. By the way, we're in May. Happy May, everybody. May. Do you guys feel like the world just went really quick? You can't short shares in Robinhood, but you can definitely day trade. Yeah, you can't literally short shares. You can do some more bearish stuff with options. There's some ways you can Google around how to short on Robinhood, but you can't definitively short stuff. Yeah, that is correct. But you can definitely day trade. That's true. Everything looking pretty green. Market turns green. 25,000 limit for day trade. Yeah. Glitch Life, zero love for Palantir today. Yeah, Palantir is not again, Palantir is one of those. It's not. But again, not everything is super up. And even if Palantir went to 11, I would be like, all right, what's next, right? It's going to go back down. It just feels like how the market is reacting to this stuff. It's the wood stocks that are going green. Yeah, I mean, look, there it is. There's ARK. I mean, ARK will be back when it comes to a bull market. The question is just, for me, why I sold. I wanted my money in Palantir because that's where I wanted ultimately to buy the dip on. And so I needed some capital, and that's where I liquidated. QQQ, I have not bought this index, but I feel like, I mean, because I like tech, this is kind of a better bet than SPY to me to some extent. Now, it's a little bit more riskier. Well, maybe it's not that risky given tech is the economy, but I mean, it's interesting to me. I would like to own a lot more portions of tech, and it's getting attractive now. I mean, look at QQQ. Look at QQQ's max. It was at last time it was at these levels was April 2021, and then 2020 it was at 175. Goodness, man, 2020. So that's my concern, right? Is 2020 to 2022 gonna look like what we're looking at from 2022 to 2024? Like this dip we see from 2020 all the way up to 2022, is that what it's gonna be? 2 years from now on this market open at 2022 to 2024? Because if it is, look at this. If you bought it at April in March, it's a great deal. 2020. It's always hindsight, right? So the question is, how can you train yourself from a psychological perspective to actually buy when it's time to buy? All around the metaverse. Good morning. What up? What's up? Happy you are here. Just add another 400 pounds here for 1030. Hopefully the stock will recover. Yeah, we're gonna see how it happens over time. We got to see what happens. That is the question. Now, I want to do some business stuff on in terms of what's going on in markets overall. The Ukraine-Russia situation, I haven't even kept up with it because I don't even understand what's happening. There's still a war, right? But it's also not as bad as it was, but it also is as bad as it was. When I see headlines about it, I'm like, I don't even know what is going on. Ukraine latest. EU energy ministers debate rubles for gas demand. Now, Russia is still importing gas at 11 million barrels, from what I understand. Russia gas barrels. They're importing a lot still. And India's buying it, and I think China's buying it. Yeah, here we go. This is from 3 weeks ago, but still. How Russia's managing to sell the oil and gas no one wants to buy. Is this a video? We could probably watch the video on this. Hopefully it'd be an interesting little story. Is this? Yeah, let's watch this.
Is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a step that we're taking to inflict further pain on Putin. But there will be cost as well here in the United States. I said I would level with the American people from the beginning. And when I first spoke to this, I said defending freedom is going to cost. It's going to cost us as well.
Okay, so this is just Biden talking about cutting off gas. So then who's buying it, right? So much of the world would rather not buy Russian oil and gas. European Union Commission President, blah, 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 said that the EU must become independent from Russian oil and gas. We cannot rely on a supplier who threatens us. That's what Biden said on March 8th. This means that Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at our ports. So we cut off Russian oil. It's like, okay, that's why we have high gas prices right now. The question becomes, oh, it's a stupid subscription. Damn it, we can't even get into the article. Well, we know that India's buying Russian oil. India, Russia oil. We'll probably find an article there. India refiners seeking 6-month Russian oil import deal. There you go. That's more simpler. So India's buying it. India's like, Indians, they like a good deal. India's like, shit, no one's going to buy it? Here's our credit card. We got it. We're all here for you. So that's that, right? So India's top refiner oil company, Bharat Petroleum Corp. And Hindustan Petroleum Corp. Are negotiating the deal with Russia's. India IOC is negotiating a deal to put 6 million barrels of oil per month with an option to buy 3 million barrels. Someone's going to buy the oil at the end of the day, right? There's always a buyer when things seem like it's a bear market. That's just the nature of markets. India imports more than 85% of its crude oil and needs at least 5 million barrels per day. How much oil does India use a day? How much oil does India use a day? Okay. Yeah. So India consumes 4 million barrels a day as of 2016. So that, let's assume it's like, I don't know, 6 million now in 20. Is that reasonable? 2022? That's reasonable. Oh, here's a better chart. Because the reason I'm asking is I want to compare how much America uses and how much China uses, and then how much Russia uses, and like what that implication ultimately is. So India right here, this is what India's oil consumption from 1965, blah, blah. Yearly. Okay, so that's fine. So India uses 6 million a day. How much oil does the United States use per day? 19 million barrels. Oh, so does India use less than us? India consumes 4 million barrels per day. The U.S. 2021, the United States averages about a 19 million barrel. Oh wait, we're using that. Really? That's unbelievable to me. That doesn't make any sense. I thought we were using way less than them. Did he seriously just pronounce him Bharat? Okay, I'm sorry. How much oil does Russia use per day? How much oil does how many barrels of oil? How many barrels of oil does Russia use per day? 3 million barrels. Interesting. So the United States uses the most barrels of oils a day? That's crazy to me. I did not know that. 19 million, huh? That's interesting. All right, so the reason I was bringing that up is because if we go to the ruble, I mean, let's look at that as well. What's the rub? I used that a while ago. Russian ruble. The Russian ruble is an interesting thing to kind of think about in this context. The camera just went off. Give me a second. Let's change the camera. There we go. Okay. 1 Russian ruble is $0.0014. Okay. So like this is just so interesting to me because if this continues to happen and the amount of oil we use continues to still be exponential and we're not getting it from Russia, I'm trying to figure out how gas prices are ultimately going to react to this. And I'm trying to figure out what strategic reserves does the United States actually have to get out of this situation? Because it doesn't seem like we've got a lot. And like the reason India's buying the oil, China's buying the oil is because like you got to get the oil from somewhere. What is Europe really going to do? Where are they going to get the oil from? Where are they going to get clean energy from? I mean, it's hard to kind of think of this. It's hard to sort of analyze how that's ultimately going to play out. The market is green. The market has basically turned green. And I guess we are green. America, the biggest danger to climate change. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Also, someone's put in the chat, India hit 62 degrees Celsius or 144 degrees Fahrenheit the other day. Bruh. could you imagine in America it's 144 degrees? Like, we would literally, like, melt outside. It would just be insane. Like, imagine one day it gets to 200. There's, like, that is not good. That's pretty bad. I think we're all just trying to live and then die before that happens because we know how screwed we are. It's just like, it's rough, man. ETH is at 2,800. Crossroads says Europe needs to reactivate nuclear plants. Like, the whole world should think about nuclear plants. We kind of really do need to do that. I would agree that would be a good option. ETH at 3,000. Bitcoin 280. That's the other one. Boeing at 149. Boeing is one of those value plays I would look into as well. But look at this. It was at 440 in 2019. The pandemic screwed it because of airplanes and air travel. Then they had some flight crashes. It's gotten hammered. But if you believe long term that, you know, airlines are not going anywhere. Now, my sister, then Boeing might be a good stock. My sister, United is up to 50. My sister has a big position in United. She was buying the crap out of it during COVID. I think her average is like 30 or something. So United is doing decently well. American Airlines, where are we at there? $18. You know, I had some of these at good averages, but I sold so early and for a loss as well. I should have just kept my airlines all through COVID because they were going to come back. But Google's back at 2,300. Yeah, that's how it is. Roku is having a good day. Let's go back to Roku. $98 is up 6%. That's good. I mean, that's good. Again, I don't own it because I don't believe how innovative it is, but it's definitely, you could definitely say it's undervalued for its market cap and for its revenues. Again, I don't want to hold it. I don't feel comfortable holding it. I would be more comfortable putting my money in something like a Palantir. Coinbase at 117. Coinbase is down, but Coinbase, remember when Coinbase went to like 450, bro? Like, that was insane. And it was getting pumped hard. I remember Kevin was he was buying the crap out of it, like 350. He was, you know, and like that's just, it was, I mean, if I had his money, I might have been buying it as well. It was peak FOMO during that time. Everyone was trying to get into it. And, you know, obviously it was going to crash. Russian ruble is what I was trying to go back to as well. 71. Now it's worse the lower it gets. It used to be at 158, so not the best. Airbnb at 154. Airbnb stock has been very flat. I mean, they IPO'd at like 160. I mean, they IPO'd at 63. They had a pop at 160. Only the bankers really got to benefit off that pop, and then it's been pretty flat ever since. So we don't talk about Airbnb too much, but Elon says if we put solar panels in Utah, he can power the whole United States. I mean, I kind of agree. Like, that might be possible. Like, if you actually put solar panels everywhere, you guys might have a chance. Or in a certain, if you just put one part of location with solar panels and create an energy infrastructure grid, you could start powering like a lot of the rest of the area. I think there was this one thing. It's like if you take a part of Nevada and or like half of Nevada or a quarter of Nevada and you just fill it with solar panels, you have enough to power the entire Earth. It was some ridiculous statement like that. It's like, I mean, if you could, that'd be crazy. Do you do YouTube full time? I do not do YouTube full time. It feels like I do YouTube full time, but I've got a lot of videos more to make throughout the day, but I do not do YouTube fully full time. All right, guys, I got to be out. Got to get a lot of stuff done throughout the day. Thank you so much for joining me on the Market Open. Hope you guys enjoy. I mean, it's a green market, so let's see how this market ends up. Got a lot more videos coming out today talking about a lot more stuff. And I will see you guys later throughout the day. Thank you guys so much for joining. 180 people in the chat means the world to me. I will see you guys tomorrow on another Monday Morning Open, or Tuesday Morning Open, and there will be a bunch of more videos that you guys can check out today. Also, I'm doing some new things with my thumbnails today. I think you guys might enjoy them. It's going to be some cool stuff. I'm doing some interesting stuff with the thumbnail, so let me know what you guys think. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.